What's up, guys? It's Adam from esportsheaven.com, and I am here with Mr. Marvel himself, IFC Yipes. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing beautiful, man.
All right, so I'm pretty sure you entered the event yesterday. How'd you do? Walk me through your matches a little bit.
I did pretty solid. I was in Lud and Momochi's pool and a couple other killers there, but I beat Lud in the winners to have the opportunity to play Momochi, and it was pretty close. It was 2-1, but he edged it out. And then bumped it to Lud again, and then he beat me 2-1.
So were you kind of disappointed? Or you think, like, it was close, so you're not too mad at yourself?
Nah, I could have definitely done better, but, it is what it is. He was the better man. There was the better man that day, so.
Right. So today you're kind of just here enjoying things, watching the event?
Yeah. Basically, I came just to play, but Persia, that's my girl, basically. She is here being a correspondent, so I'm just here pretty much just showing her that support.
Right. So you are playing Street Fighter, known for Marvel. Would you say you're kind of focusing completely on Street Fighter now?
To be honest, I'm just playing what my friends are playing. So it's like all my Marvel 2 homies that transition, Marvel 3 homies that transition to Street Fighter 5. I'm just playing with them, and it's a learning experience, and it's a pretty fun game. So,
Do you feel like you're really committed to like trying to get like Capcom Cup, all these things? You kind of just playing with the homies a little bit.
For right now, I'm just playing. Let's just say I'm just rocking season 1 and see how it feels, and hopefully by season 2, I would have the opportunity to travel somewhere. That's pretty much what's holding me back just a little bit, just the traveling aspect.
And of course, traveling, what would help with that is obvious sponsor. Are you kind of like really looking into that? Have you gotten offers and rejected them, or is there kind of a dream sponsor that you're waiting for?
I've gotten a couple of offers, but it's more so I want them to care about my brand, not my fingertips. So once I get that one sponsorship that really cares about growing me as a brand, then I'll take that into consideration.
Right. And as a brand, you don't just play, as you're pointing out. You're also a commentator, and you do some tournament organizing. There hasn't really been a curly mustache in a while. Do you think that that's going to come back? I remember last time we talked to Apex 2015, you were even talking about a Marvel 2 curly mustache. Well, where's that at right now?
Well, pretty much I was in that scheduling point to make those curly mustaches happen, but due to the CPT being so many tournaments, it made it pretty hard, so it wouldn't be optimal as a business to keep, because remember, curly mustache, it pretty much holds itself down. Plus obviously with some of the sponsors that hold this down, but most of the time it holds itself down. So when it can't be that optimal, then I can't really run it to that extent. I mean, obviously I could do it hometown, but I want to do it across the globe, and that's going to be pretty hard.
Right. And being the Marvel guy, a lot of people were kind of concerned after EVO. It might be the last year. You were there at commentary. You saw Chris G win. Do you think if this is the last moment, like last year, do you think that was kind of like a great way to end things, or do you think maybe this is only the beginning and there's a lot more life to Marvel 3?
I think this is only the beginning. Even though there's a lot of Street Fighter 5 just clouding everybody's vision right now, but just know Marvel is coming, and who knows, maybe a new game coming, and it just makes everything that much sweeter.
Right. If there is a new game, Marvel 4, like, what would you want to see from it? Because as someone that was a god at Marvel 2, you love Marvel 3 as well. Would you want to see something completely different, a combination of the two, or maybe more Marvel 2, Marvel 3? How would you feel you would want a Marvel 4 to look like?
To be honest, I don't really care too much on the mechanics. I mean, I could just sit here all day and talk about mechanics, but I want it to be more supported by the company that makes the game. So I want a lot of support, because obviously the community is there, but the support of the bigger ups, the higher ups like Capcom, whoever that's going to be involved in that game needs to help us out in a big way.
Right. And as you said before, Capcom, I wouldn't say they kind of strangled the scene, but the CPT is so huge that it's kind of hard to get these Marvel players out. Do you think there's anything that Marvel players in the community itself can do to kind of like, I guess, grow the community or kind of expand the game? Or do you feel like we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right now?
Well, depending on what scene you're from, somebody has to take that leadership role for sure to guide those players of such region to just set up sessions, tournaments, and just keep it consistent and just pretty much learn to learn. Don't learn just to kick your friend's butt or something. Like actually train in the game so you guys can actually grow stronger together. Right. So I would say that.
All right, really good advice. And you're on the East Coast. You guys have been kind of making headlines lately. Li Joe made top 8 at EVO. How did you feel about that? Having someone that's so close to you make it to the biggest stage that fighting game community has ever seen?
Well, I'm kind of spiritual with things, so like I would say, Joe never has bad karma. He's just that much of a good soul. So nothing bad could have happened to him. So for him to have the opportunity to get to that top 8. To me, it's not only a blessing, but he really deserved it. He really did deserve it.
Right. And we're at ESL One New York 2016. We're at the Brooklyn Beatdown at the Barclays Center. You're from New York. This is the place you call home. Yeah. What's it feel like to have such a huge company like ESL, known in esports, kind of invest in Street Fighter and have their first event at the Barclays Center of all places?
Well, New York for a while had a like a ball spot. You would say like it wasn't nothing too major. I mean, you got stuff like Defend the North, but it could use some work. It's growing, so I could understand that. But to have people like ESL getting involved and having such a good wave with MKX and what they did, the production wise, and doing it at the Barclays Center is pretty amazing, if you ask me. And then the quality of competition that was here was just amazing. So hopefully they stick around and hold us down some more.
Right. And, being that we're getting so much bigger, like we're at the Barclays Center, like I said, we're at the Mandalay Bay Center, what's it like for you, someone that came, what was your first Evo 05? Like, what's it like for you to see us come to this massive, massive point? Did you ever think it would be like this? Or do you think that for you, there's still so much more room that you'd like to see grow?
Well, there was always that thought, like, man, we could like do big arenas and stuff like that. But then you always think about the politics and stuff like that, analytics and whatever the case is. That's just the politics side of things. But to be honest with you, coming from the arcade side of things, I never thought it would be this huge. So when I went to, what's crazy is when I went to Evo that first time in 05, I thought that was like the biggest it could get. To be honest with you, because it was like Las Vegas, and we're at a casino and we're doing this up. So that was like, I thought was like our the ceiling. We hit the ceiling with that one. But as time went on, it just got bigger and better. So.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next year. There's some, more people are always coming into the community, and there's always new changes coming. With Street Fighter V, are you kind of happy with the game, or are there some specific changes that you'd like to see happen in game for next year?
I think the game is fine. Just anytime there's a bug or a glitch, just fix it on the spot. And like I said, more community support. I mean, company support, like Capcom just staying involved. So as long as they stay involved and they help us out, then that's a beautiful thing.
Right. And of course, as much as we've been talking about Capcom, they're not the only ones in this space. There are a lot of other games coming out. Are you planning on maybe investing some time into those games, or you still kind of just play what your homies are playing?
I've been playing, like you said, like one of my homies are playing. I've been playing some KOF, so KOF 14 is pretty awesome. It's really fits my style in terms of rush down, stuff like that. So I really appreciate that type of style. And that's about it. If anything, we're playing like drinking games, so I play like Smash Brothers or something like that. So.
Okay. Are you planning on taking KOF like really, really seriously, or kind of just you're all right with that right now?
Well, we'll see. Right now, I'm in more of a behind the scenes. Like I'm really trying to help this side of our scene to grow. So, I'll be on and off. Like you'll see me some tournaments, but mostly I'll be behind the scenes.
So would you say you're kind of transitioning to the behind the scenes guy, kind of like, let's say, 70 behind the scenes, 30 competitor? Like what's the balance for that?
Probably 70-30. Yeah, you got it right on the money.
Right. Is that hard for you to do, being someone that's, I'm sure you like competition, I'm sure you like playing against other people? Was it kind of hard for you to like take that step back and do what you're doing now?
No, to be honest, it's been a blessing. I never really expected people to give me this much love, and I'm just being myself, so that's a good thing. I don't want to be manufactured with what I'm doing. To be honest, I've actually done everything that I've wanted to be done in terms of fighting games. I became an Evo champion, been in so many Evo top 8s. So, I got I'm already full. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I'm not hungry, but for me to be hungry, it all depends on if my scene is hungry. So if they get hungry, I'll get hungry with them. But other than that, I would say I'm a bit satisfied right now.
And as for getting the scene hungry, do you think that the easy answer is just say increase the money and that makes people hungry? Or what do you think you could tell people who are looking to make their scene hungry?
Well, that's the logical way to think about it with the money, right? But in order for you to be good at the game, you're going to have fun with the game first. And then you think about to that transition of trying to make some paper. Because that's how it happened with like Infiltration, all these other guys, Tokido. We wasn't making no big money before. They was playing because of that competition and that hunger. So the money was just an added bonus. So hopefully everybody has that approach where everybody will have fun with the game first and learn it. Because it is a craft, man. It's a sport, So once you master your craft, then you can worry about the money later.
I completely agree, man. And, this event was crazy, too, because it was like Evo in that all the killers came out. Like you said, in your pool, you had 2 killers that ended up taking you out. But it seems to me that, and to many other people, especially the Japanese, they're still so far ahead of us. Do you think that we're going to be able to close that gap? Or what do you think we should do in order to close that gap?
I don't really think they're too far ahead of us. Granted, they do have that experience. It's more so they have a tight-knit circle where they can always meet up and play. The issue with North America is everybody's spread out. So I could imagine if we was all in one city and we all could just play and step it up and level it up, then it'll be probably a different story. So right now we only have a handful of people that could beat the internationals. You got guys like Flash, you got guys like Justin. So it's almost there. We're almost at that point,
Right. Right. And for you, do you feel like you're okay with, like you said, you're okay with not taking that glory, but for you as this, I guess, behind the scenes guy, is it just the goal to grow the community, or do you have more specific goals in mind?
My goal is to let the world know what we're doing, and from there, everything will just fall into place.
Are you planning on doing this like more so through your brand, or like you said, more behind the scenes, working with other companies and things like that?
Well, it'll make it more comfortable for me if I do it with everybody that started from the beginning, the grassroots. So, obviously it's going to turn into a business aspect, of course, but for sure, something tight knit on my side.
Do you, being someone that's from the grassroots and you like the grassroots, do you ever get nervous when big companies like ESL come in, or do you think that what ESL has done here, and if they keep on doing it, everything's going to be fine?
Nah, I wouldn't be nervous about it. If they show a common interest, then it's fine with me. As long as I stay true to myself, then I don't have no problems like that.
All right, man. Sounds really good. Are there any shout-outs you want to give? What do you want to say to your fans? How can your fans follow you?
Shout out to all my Warriors, of course. Y'all can follow me on at IFC Yipes. You can just IFC Yipes everything, basically, and you'll find me everywhere. So.
All right, man. Thank you so much for the interview, and thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned to esportsheaven.com for more coverage of ESL One New York 2016. We'll see you guys.